We're older than the country. We're older than the Diocese of Long Island. I mean, that's a tremendous gift, to say that we are this old. And in fact, it was so interesting when I was even talking to the bishop. Our bishop is fairly new, Bishop Lawrence Provenzano, and I said, "Well, Bishop, we're having our 310th anniversary." He kept saying, 110th? I said, "No, Bishop, 310 years." And he started smiling. He's like, "Oh my God." He said, I knew you were old. I didn't realize that you were that old." The church, especially in the African American tradition and community, has been the repository of not only just the spiritual, but the educational, the political, the cultural dimensions of the community. It is the church where many people would come, often to deal with some of the issues of the community, and I'm thinking of, in particular, someone like a Dr. Martin Luther King, who was able to take the broader context of the church into the life of the community by trying to bring forth the role of justice and righteousness within the life of the community. And I believe that's where the church should be and where the church should go. So the church has a modicum of roles to play in the life of the community. And I believe that it's not just within the walls of this building.
The church is not this building, and that we are part of a much wider ministry.
We're mindful of Jesus' statement to us that you shall be witnesses unto Judea, Samaria, and the outermost parts of the world. So it's not just about what we do in these four walls, but it's how we extend ourselves to the larger community. Because, frankly, if there were no walls, you would still have the church, because you have people. And wherever people are, that's where the church is. I believe that you cannot talk about Grace Church without talking about the development of this community. It's been a place where people could come, not only to pray, but to kind of find their spiritual ground of nature as the city has evolved.
Rufus King is one of the 5 framers of the Constitution, and he was an active member of this congregation. One of the younger members to go to Philadelphia for the writing of the Constitution. He represented, if you look at the signing of the Constitution, look to Massachusetts and you'll see the name Rufus King. Rufus and Mary King were really an important team and very active members in this congregation. Rufus' stand against the Missouri Compromise, February 11th, 1820. He's the last of the founding fathers still holding public office. There are slaveholders on that Senate floor, and he says, "Mr. President," and he knows he's going to lose this battle, incidentally. He's just going to stand up and let us know a thing or two as to what we're doing. 33 years after we've signed a constitution on freedom, we're expanding slavery. Enough already, Mr. President. I have yet to learn that one man can make a slave of another. And if one man cannot do so, no number of individuals can have any better right to do it. And I hold that all laws and compacts imposing any such condition upon any human being are absolutely void, because, contrary to the law of nature, which is the law of God, by which he makes his way known to man and is paramount to all human control. He served as United States Senator from all three United States capitals, New York, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. And so they and the kids and everything were very active here at Grace.
This building that we're currently sitting in is 150 years old. This is actually the third building that Grace Church has had.
There was the early one that the Kings, when they joined the congregation, that was the building that was there. They realized they needed a new building, and the second building is what Rufus King and Mary were responsible for. That burned down 1861, New Year's Day. And the son John, he followed in his mom and dad's footsteps. John Elsop King, while he was a member of this church, he served in the Congress 30 years after the Missouri Compromise. He took as strong of a stand against slavery as his dad had.
And also he was one who really helped put forth and develop the campaign for erecting this building that we're in, which turns 150 years old this year.
It's quite a story of the King family, generations worth, and their attachment to Grace Church.
This has been a place where historically some of the people who have made great strides in the life of the church. The first bishop of the American Church, Samuel Seabury, actually being the rector of this parish, and then the second bishop who has come out of this church is the Right Reverend Herbert Thompson Jr. And I believe that both of those men, who became very well known in the life of the church, their legacy is indelibly printed within the context of the community here, because they extended themselves to the larger community.
There's a listening ear here. Note that even though there are old gravestones in the yard, which tells of our history, there are the living plants and flowers, which let you know that we are very much alive.
And what I want people to know is that when you come into this church, you can leave your burdens here. And when you go out, you are just, you're renewed.
There is a saying that has been developed that grace is a place and where all good people can come together to work for God. And so we welcome everybody who comes.
So it's like maintaining what we have as far as our history and our traditions, but also inculcating new aspects of ministry and bringing people who are in our community to make them a part of our church.
I think it's a matter of being aware of the past and knowing that in order to have the future live up to that glorious past, that we have to keep moving.
Grace is a place where people can come and feel valued, where they can feel a sense of engagement, and they can feel as though that they are participating in some aspect of a spiritual walk and journey.
Well, I think it's pretty special.